Hello, everyone. This is Gruesome Herzog. My very special guest today is producer-writer Jason Whittier and director-producer Clark Birchmeier. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm glad to have you come on here. Mr. Andrew...
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I kind of screwed that. You threw my concentration off. Good job. That had to have been Clark, right?
Yeah, man.
God damn it, Clark. You're getting me back the wrong time. Why couldn't you do it when we're not recording? Anyway.
Oh, I don't know. Jeez.
Anyways, Andrew Roth directed me to you guys. And you have a good old psychological thriller that you guys are working on soon called Waterfront Nightmare. Now,
yep.
It's the filming location's in Michigan, correct?
Yeah, we're shooting the entire film in Attica, Michigan.
Okay. If you guys want to, you guys can take turns to explain to the listeners exactly what this movie's about, and maybe some who's going to be in it or anything you guys want to say. It's all yours. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I'll start. So Waterfront Nightmare is basically it's a thriller where 7 college friends go on their spring break to this waterfront cabin, and they discover that their lives are in jeopardy. They start disappearing one by one, and don't really understand what's going on. And it goes through a lot of twists and turns. They have a few goths that are on spring break next door, and they come over and party one night. There's 2 locals in the town that also are kind of just really creepy, and no one knows what's their deal. And there's also this old man that owns the cabin. And while all this is going on, they're partying and slowly dying, and they got this cameraman following them around and filming them, and they have no idea why.
Oh, wow.
So it just kind of goes through some crazy twists, and we really hope everyone's going to be pleased with the ending.
Interesting. So. Now there is some wooded scenes, correct? I mean, it's in the woods too.
Yeah, they go on a hike in a couple scenes, and they there's a lot of just kind of going around the woods, and
right.
And we got a perfect cabin for it.
Excellent. Movies that I really enjoy the most is these backwoods movies. Like The Wrong Turns and
right.
Resurrection County and stuff like. I just enjoy the backwoods because you never know what the story, how the story is going to go, and you can always find some kind of a cannibal or some weirdo that really makes the movie interesting. But
right,
interesting.
Right.
I'm on your website right now. I take it. It is www.waterfrontnightmare.com.
Yeah, correct.
If your listeners are out there listening, check out the website. It looks pretty cool and interesting. You guys can do your own homework on researching it. But what actors do you have lined up so far?
Well, we've gotten over 700 submissions, believe it or not.
Really?
And as of right now, we've casted 4 different actors. One is Keith Lee. He's a Michigan actor. He was recently in Transformers 3, Real Steel, Scream 4, and SWAT 2.
Wow. And
we also got, just as of yesterday, we got Rick Montgomery Jr., and he's only been acting since 2001, but he's been in over 65 films.
Oh yeah.
And mainly independent productions, but
right.
I think he's the real deal. He's about to, I think, make a big splash. We also have Andrew Roth. He's on as a producer, and he'll be playing a supporting role. And he was in the TV series The Wire, and he's been in a bunch of other independent films, and he's got over 35 credits to his name.
Yeah.
And we've also casted his wife, Liana Werner Gray, and she was actually Miss Earth Australia in 2009.
Ooh. And
she was a production assistant on The Fighter, and has been in a bunch of independent films recently.
Excellent. You know what? You mentioned about Rick Montgomery Jr. I'm very familiar with Rick Montgomery Jr. I've seen some stuff that he's in, and I think he's, like you said, I think, I'll say this and I'll say it again. I think there's a lot more talented actors and actresses, directors, producers, writers in the independent circuit that, that I think are more talented than the ones that are in the big movies. For a simple fact, I said this before, and it's not like a broken record, but when you guys, anybody in the independent, they have to work hard to get where they are. So they'll take their roles more. I can't say more serious, maybe so. It comes to more to heart with these guys because they have something to work forward to. These spoiled ones that make all the money, I mean, they can do 3 farts in the screen and get $2 million for it. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know what I mean? So, I understand all about independent. I didn't, I learned that in the last 8 months, but I like Rick. So,
awesome.
Anyways, I went on a little tirade there, but I apologize. But
no, we definitely feel the same way.
Yep. So.
Hell yeah. Like I've worked on some of the bigger feature films, and it's always interesting to see some of the Hollywood actors come in, and the only time you ever see them is when they do their scene, and then generally they go back to their trailer or whatever and get ready for the next scene. Yep. They don't really come out after, when we wrap, and I'm not gonna, never say never, but a lot of times, you won't see them at a wrap party or anything like that.
Right.
But, the people that are working the independent films, their heart is definitely there.
Right.
I've worked with some actors that they're also child actors. They're pretty much born into acting, and that kind of reinforces it. But to be able to see actors that come out and they talk with you while everything's happening, they want to come to the wrap parties, they want to go to the networking events, all that stuff. It's just the enthusiasm is there, and that's something that I've told Jason too. Is it's like the enthusiasm to me is just as important as the talent. Now, don't get me wrong, you definitely want that talent there.
Sure.
But somebody who's very passionate about it is going to deliver just as good of a performance, if not better. Just because you don't know who they are when you see them on screen doesn't mean you're not going to know who they are a couple of years down the road, and it doesn't mean, their performance is going to be any less.
Exactly right. And you know what? Everybody has to start somewhere,
That's right. Yeah, filming is starting June 6th. It's going to be running till June 29th. And majority of it's going to be in the, Attica, North Branch, Imlay City area in Michigan.
Interesting. That sounds, how about a trailer? How soon after you guys start filming do you think? Just to give the people an idea.
A majority of my work has been in the digital world. And I'm used to productions that are editing as the movie's being shot. So when we're shooting day 2, our editors are going to be, essentially editing day 1. Okay. So therefore, at the end of the night, I can visit with the editor and, see what's being cut together, how it's all looking. And then in theory, when the movie is wrapped, we'll be very close to at least having a rough cut. And at that point, we can, make little decisions as to, what needs to be changed,
right.
What needs to be edited a little differently, maybe what needs to be added or emphasized a little bit more, and also, maybe what needs to be played back just a little bit. Maybe the editor spent a little bit too much time on something,
right?
Because we're going to be shooting a lot of footage, so but everything we shoot is definitely going to be necessary and going to be used. But the way that I'm telling the editor to edit is to use all the footage that we're shooting. In one capacity or another. So if we end up with a 2.5-hour movie, I'm gonna be so ecstatic about that because we're gonna have something to work with.
Right.
And if we're able to take a 2.5-hour movie and edit it down to an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes, you better believe that we're gonna be using all the diamonds to make that movie.
Right.
As the saying goes, it's better to have too much than not enough.
Exactly.
And we're going to have a lot on our plate to choose from.
Exactly. You know what? By listening to you, I can sense a positive attitude, and that's always a good thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, I've been doing short films, videos, and all that for, well over a decade. And And I used to do a lot of like random goofy stuff when I was young as well, just using whatever camcorders or whatever I could find.
Right.
So, I was used to doing stuff on VHS and stuff like that. And I have a couple of videos that I've lost. I don't even know where they're at. They were, they were recorded and made, and they were put on video, and then, through the shuffle of time or through the loss of the analog world, a couple of those things have been misplaced. I wish I could find them, but yeah, it's something that I've always loved doing. I mean, even when I was in like 8th grade, I was taking book reports and turning them into videos. So yeah, it's just something
really?
I've always loved doing, and I've loved every process of it. So
that's heart. See, that is a prime example of somebody who takes their interest to the full lengths. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Now, do you guys want to mention about Indiegogo?
Yeah, sure. We got an Indiegogo page going where we're accepting donations. Donations can be as little as $1, or they can be up to $3,000. We have various different perks that we're offering for the donations. You can also, if you prefer, you can actually go onto our website at waterfrontnightmare.com, click the donations tab, and on that page there is a PayPal button where you can just donate right there directly. Just to give you an idea, if you donate $25, we'll give you a thank you card from all the producers, and we'll also give you a copy of the screenplay signed by me.
Now, if I donate $25, right, I also can slap Andrew Roth, right?
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Or Clark. Really, I do. Take it back, Clark. I would love to slap.
Yeah, you can slap Clark.
yeah, you could definitely do that for $25,000. I agree.
25 grand. I'd be kicking your ass from here to West Virginia. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there you go.
No, just playing. That's good. I've been involved in a lot of the Indiegogos. I've donated to quite a few films, and I find it interesting, intriguing to every now and then I'll casually browse through it and see what's up there for donation or whatever. And I've just randomly donated to 2 of them that caught my interest. So don't be surprised if I don't donate.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I mean, I love the picture you have on the Indiegogo. That gives it that.
We got some more pictures we're hopefully going to be getting up there. We got this great cabin that we're just kind of waiting for the snow to melt so we can get some good pictures on the site.
Nice. Well, is there anything else you guys want to chit-chat about?
Yeah, sure. We also like to give a shout-out to our sponsors. We've gotten actually 3 breweries to donate beer to be shown in the film and just to have for cast parties. We got Lagunitas beer out in California, and we got 2 Michigan beers, Frog Island Brewery and Tri-City Brewery.
Nice.
So we'd like to thank them, and we also we also got donation from Red Bull and from Dublin Beef Jerky.
That's nice. That's a good deal when you get some of a sponsor like that's pretty cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, great. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
You can if you Facebook Waterfront Nightmare, we have actually as of right now we got 197 likes.
Good.
So.
I already liked it already. I just was making sure because there's a lot of like buttons on this place and that place, and when you look, it's a group page, not a fan page. So you just never know. Excellent.
No, it's definitely a fan page, and we're trying to keep everybody in the loop as much as possible. Any type of actors we get involved, we're going to be adding that. As far as like people making donations, if you make a donation, we'll give you a shout out on the Facebook page. Any other, things that are going to be adding to our film, like Jason was saying, some of these pictures we would like to be getting up there soon. We are kind of waiting for the snow to melt. As you know, Michigan is a state that loves to get its snow.
Oh yeah.
We actually had some yesterday. It's already March 12th. We were getting snow on March 11th. So, hopefully the snow stops very soon. And essentially, once it's all melted, we're going to be going in there and we're going to be picture storyboarding everything. So the idea is going to be before we even shoot the film, of exactly how the film is going to look in terms of pictures. But with that said, we're also going to be able to share some of these pictures so people can really see, what everything's looking like. And to me, a lot of the idea of the horror of this film is the isolation, the fact that somebody, this group of friends are in the middle of nowhere, and all it takes is kind of this slight, going off of the beaten trail to be, finding yourself alone, and believe it or not, you end up, getting murdered, I guess, is the idea. But I guess the way that I'm kind of approaching it as a director is, being able to see this giant landscape of trees and water and just this pretty much these beautiful shots. But in the middle of that wide, grand shot, this extreme wide shot, is two people. One person killing, the other person being killed. So yeah, there's definitely, like I said, this theme of isolation.
I'll tell you what, you got my interest. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening, who will be listening to this interview, is really going to be interested in this. And it sounds, like I said before, I'll say it again, it sounds very, very interesting to me. And I can't wait to see, but I'm a big fan of horror, thrillers, and I wish you all the best, and make sure you keep in touch.
All right, great, we will. Thank you for the interview.
No problem.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, my God, you're welcome, buddy. Hey, you spoke. No.
Heck yeah.
All right, well, give me a second. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
All right. Hi, this is Cheetan Mack, and you are listening to the fabulous Gruesome Herzog. Nobody better.
This is Steve Warren. I played Ivan in Scarce. You dumbasses better be listening to Gruesome Herzog so you'll know what you're up against.
Hello. This is Professor Hunter from Pan Man. I am delighted to recommend Gruesome Herzog's podcast to the outside world. His infamous interviews are some of the best in the business. He's deliciously diabolical.
Hey, this is Sean Kane, director of Silent Night, Zombie Night, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Hello, this is Natalie Sheets. I played Jenna in the film Madison County, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Hey, horror fans, this is Ace Marrero, and you are listening to Gruesome Herzog. Dig it!
I'm Jessica Funneborn, and I'm listening to Gruesome Herzog.
This is Yvette Corvea, and most of you know me as Marla from Run Bitch Run. She's a really evil, crazy bitch. And you guys are listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Hi, this is David Z. Stamp, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzogs.
Hey, this is Bill Oberst Jr. I played Dale in the film Dismal, and as Dale would say, let me tell you something, you're listening to Gruesome Herzog. You got Dale's word on that.
Hey, this is James Cotton. I'm a director, writer, producer. You're listening to Gruesome Herzog.
Jack Harrison, action actor and stunt coordinator on 3 stunt teams. I played the character Idiot in the movie Dismal, and you're listening to Gruesome Herzog.